I was just having a conversation with someone about what an artist actually is. I realized that I keep referring to people that have an experimental avant-gardist approach. I keep referring to them as artists in the absolute sense, as if these people represent artists. But I mean, anyone that's creative, anyone that's making stuff, anyone that's playing around, from music to drawing, painting, film, I don't know, ceramic, sculpture, what have you, words, poetry. Anyone that's even busy with that can consider themselves an artist. If they're committed to that, if they're expressing something, I think they can consider themselves an artist. But I think personally, I always attached the idea of people that experiment and that look to break the mold, that look to find new approaches, that look to express the deepest part of themselves, even in the most non-linear, abstract, nonsensical ways, metaphorical, symbolic ways. I see those people as artists. And I feel maybe that's a bit of an elitist view, but that's just because it's such a vital, obsessive desire to get close to that and to give myself permission to be that I feel like I have categorically obsessed with that and limited my view of art or valuable art to only come from that place. And I just want to acknowledge that close-mindedness that I have with myself. But I also want to acknowledge that, that idea of complete experimentation and of really playing around, being creative, that to me is just the ultimate form of artistry and something I'm looking for and haven't found a place for completely, a sense of freedom for in my life so far. I've struggled a lot with giving myself permission to go there, even though it's something that speaks to me so much. I've spent, my whole adult life kind of negotiating that part and trying to give myself permission when I haven't given myself permission, but constantly being in this castrated, self-restrictive sphere. And I think it's important to acknowledge that and think about that and talk about that to allow myself to go there, but also stay open-minded. And I think that world of complete experimentation can also be pretentious, can also create a distance with the audience, can create art that just doesn't resonate. And I mean, that's not the point either, right? The point is to have an effect. The point is to do things that can hopefully have a positive effect on people watching, experiencing it. Of course, that's also not exclusive if someone wants to make very provocative stuff because that's important in his expression. That's totally valid as well. But just trying to find my place in that. I think in the end, my message is I also want to be able to. I think it's so important to play around. I think it's so important to try out new things. I think it's so important to step away from what people are telling you should do and just find your own approach. And that takes a lot of failures. That takes a lot of bad taste. That takes a lot of being a contrarian, let's say, just trying something else. And I think it's very important in life to do that. In anything you do, maybe even if you're an accountant, well, maybe you should turn your numbers upside down, you know what I mean? Maybe there's a whole new approach that you've overlooked your entire life, but that's going to make everything so much more fun or more efficient or, I don't know, more fulfilling. And it'd be such a shame to miss that. It'd be such a shame to spend your whole life and not seeing that. So why not give yourself permission to just experiment and try things, and maybe you'll stumble on something you never thought you would do, and that's gonna affect the rest of your life, the rest of your creativity, the rest of your active life. Also on a therapeutic level, experimenting things, trying out to just go bananas, you know what I mean? To just be a little crazy, actually, I think there's such a stigma with mental illness and with being different. Sometimes it's fun to be a little crazy, and I think it's good. I think we all need to exercise that kind of exorcism of our mental well-being, of our self-preservation. Just let go of that and yeah, be a bit tribal and animalistic. Because life is hard, man. Life is, it's a struggle. We're all in a struggle and might as well just scream and shout and play and hit and do anything you can to get it out of your system. And there's no rules in that. There's no rules in expression. There's no rules in getting things out of your system. It's just complete emotional outbursts, and we should all give ourselves the permission to do that.